Oh, we are going to have so much fun today. Hello, everybody, and welcome to SuttonsDaze. If you're new here, my name is Lisa. We are all about pantry preparedness. And today, we're doing all of the fun stuff. Yes, we are, because, yes, this came in, and I finally have time to do something about it. Thrivalist has their November sale, right? And they have some really great stuff for November because, you know, Thanksgiving here in the US is this month, at the end of the month. So you've got time, but I wanted to show you what is on special. And then I also wanted to show you how I'm going to use some of it because it's going to be really good. They are serious when they pack this, okay? They have all kinds of paper. Remember how we used to get dented cans all the time? Wow. Okay, so here we have the freeze-dried cranberries, because freeze-dried cranberries are the bomb. And that's going to be the highlight today, okay? And then we have, okay, a lot of paper. That's what we have. This one is heavier. And this one is the dehydrated potato flakes. Mushy taters, my friends. Everybody loves mushy taters, right? And then that means that this one is the green beans. And we're going to open up all three of these so that you can see what is what, okay? But then we are also going to be making a couple of things with the cranberries because they're good. What else did I buy? I got a couple other things. Oh, I have this thing about sharp objects, and you'll have to check this out because this I actually got for Phil. I did. Let me get this off here without taking off a finger. And so I look forward to being able to show him this. Okay, so look at that. Look at that. Okay, it's got the thing like a claw, like on the hammer. It's got the hammer part, right? And then it's got the axe part, and it's got this rubber thing over it, so that you can store it without whacking off a finger. Yeah, okay. I thought this, and it's nice and weighty. I like this. They call it, I don't know, but I will put it on the screen right here, okay? Because I totally dig that. And then I got one more of each. Let's see, I got the emergency poncho. This thing is amazing. I'm gonna show it to you guys. And then another sleeping bag for our emergency bags because a backup to the backup. You know, that's what I'm all about. Okay, so let us push the axe off the edge of the counter, okay? Get my handy dandy, and we are gonna open up first. We're gonna open up the green beans because, I mean, the green beans, you know? So let me bring you down here. Hang on. Hi. We're gonna hopefully be able to show you this, but, okay. We're trying to do the easiest way possible with this. It's gonna be great. And I will actually cook these up and probably serve them this weekend. Ooh, I can serve them with dinner tonight. Thanks. Okay, so opening up, look at, that's how full the can is. That's it right there. Little green bean pieces, okay? Yep, Hey, I don't like canned green beans. To me, they're just a little too cooked, you know? But Phil loves them, so life's good. I love frozen green beans because they still have that snap to them. Fresh, I eat them out of the garden. I mean, you know, these are good. So, yeah, these will get used. I may just sit and munch on them. And then I can go, look, Phil, I'm eating green beans. Then, let's open up the mushy taters. I mean, that's a really good flavor. I really like that. Okay. Now we're going to do the mushy taters. And that's a lot of green beans. So a serving size is half a cup. There's 25 servings per container. So I will literally take these and put them into an airtight container so that any moisture, doesn't get to them before I use them. 25, that's great. Oh my gosh. Okay, look at that. Look at how full that is. That's fantastic. Potato flakes. Okay. I probably should have just taken the rest of the lid off. There we go. Okay. And there we go. I'll put that back on. This stuff is great for thickening soups. Well, for making mushy taters, right? And shepherd's pie and all that stuff, right? But, okay, we're going to move these. Okay, there they are. Now, the star of the show today is take the plastic lid off, Lisa. I'm so easily amused. I really am. Cranberry sauce, Thanksgiving dinner, right? I will fully admit we don't eat it any other time except Thanksgiving dinner. But I, in a brilliant move, freeze-dried all of the cranberries I had in the freezer. So instead of canning up, oh my gosh, look at how full that is. Look at how full that is. That is fantastic. What I'm really impressed, look at, it's, I mean, that's, I would love to know how they slice them like this, because when I have to beat mine up for the freeze dryer, cranberries are so good. These are awesome. I am super happy with this cut also. I don't know if that's going to focus that well, but I mean, you can see, that's like the middle of a cranberry. So the ends are in here too, but wow. Okay, we are going to be using the cranberries today because I have a couple recipes to show you. Yes, I do. And so we are going to move you down here. We are going to be making a couple different things today. And so I'm adapting some regular recipes to use freeze-dried ingredients because that's what I do for fun and giggles in my day. You know what I mean? So let me grab some measuring cups here because I need them because we're going to be refreshing the cranberries in order to use them. So first we're going to make some muffins. Let me spell that out really easy first, okay? So first there's some muffins. I will have a link for the recipe down below. I surely will. And the recipe that I'm going to provide is for a single batch because I am using these amazing muffin containers. I'm making bigger muffins, so I'm doubling the recipe. This technically makes 12 regular size muffins, but I am going to make 12 super-sized muffins because that's what I do for fun and giggles. So to kick this off, first, the cranberries that we have to use are, let's see, 1.5 cups, so 3 cups of cranberries, okay? And I am going to, can I do this? This is a 1.5 cup measuring cup. I love that. Let me get my coffee out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 very well endowed cups of freeze-dried cranberries, which are just cute. These are so cute. Okay. And I'm going to move that over there for now. And then what it calls for originally is water. Okay. But we are going to, well, I mean, this recipe doesn't call for water. It's the other one. So we are going to refresh these, but we are going to refresh them in orange juice because that's what we do for fun. Okay, so I'm going to pour in, so you can see how much is in there, right? And dun, dun, dun. So I'm going to pour in some orange juice, and not to worry because it will get used if it's too much. I'm going to say probably a cup of orange juice is what I put in there. And we're going to let those refresh because that'll be good. Let me grab a spoon. The chaos of the kitchen. Okay. So, oh yeah, see, they're already soaking up that orange juice. Do you know what an amazing taste that's going to be? So I might add a little bit. We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to add too much if I don't have to. So we're going to let those work their magic, okay? And now we're going to get our bowls, and we're going to put together first the dry ingredients. I've already preheated my oven to 400 degrees. It's working on it right now. At least it better be because, you know, yes, it is preheating. Okay. You know, I have developed trust issues with this oven. So we're going to get 4 cups of flour and put it in this bowl. I keep my all the time use flour in a bucket. Yes, I do. And I keep a 2-cup measuring cup in there because it seems to be predominantly the measurement that I need. So 2 and 4. No, I don't sift it. No, I am not that cautious about leveling it or anything else. Nobody should have to work that hard to make something, okay? But I have 4 cups of all-purpose flour in here. And we are going to mix in salt. So I have my salt container, and we need 1 teaspoon of salt. I just keep this little teaspoon in there because, again, it seems to get the most use. Coffee out of the way, Lisa. Okay. So after the salt, baking powder, not to be confused with baking soda. Okay. So baking powder, we need 4, where are you? We need 4 teaspoons. There we are. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because it's double. Remember, I'm making a double batch. And there we go. Okay, so this is your dry ingredients. And I'm going to whisk that up so it kind of gets integrated all the way around. And so that I make a poofy mess. Because that's half the fun. Now we're going to do the wet ingredients. I'm going to do it in here. The wet ingredients are... well, it's kind of 2 things. Let me back that up. Next, we're going to put in the sugar and the zest of 2 oranges. Or, okay, first I've got orange that the cranberry is refreshing in. Next, I have this dried orange peel that I get from Azure Standard. But I will find one on Amazon for you that's the same thing. I find it to be remarkably easy to use this instead of zest. Yes, it's bigger, so if that bothers you, you can put it in a coffee grinder and beat it down. I may grab my little mortar and pestle and do that. But first, I want to measure. So first is, well, because if I want to measure, this is how my brain works. You guys are in trouble. So I'm going to do a tablespoon of this, nice rounded tablespoon, okay? And we will beat that into submission in a moment. But first, I need to do the sugar, and that's 2 cups of sugar. Da, da, da. Okay, so that's 1, and that's 2. There we go, much easier. Okay, the fan just came on for the oven, so that means we are practically at temp. You know, kind of, sort of, almost, not really, is how I refer to it. Nobody has time for a mortar and pestle right now. So my ever handy dandy grinder, and I'm gonna put that in there and put this back on. Okay, and now we're gonna try to make our way to the outlet. Okay. Okay, it is not necessarily all powder, but it is much more powder than it was, which to me, that works, okay? So we're gonna mix that in with the sugar. There we go. And then this recipe actually calls for oil and orange juice. Okay, so we're gonna put a 1/2 cup of orange juice. This is not, well, okay, so we'll do 2 of these. Dun, 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 dun. Nope, getting ahead of myself there. Getting ahead of myself there. Okay, first we have the sugar and the zest, okay? And we're just gonna, for giggles, mix those up. Okay, great. So now those are all mixed up. Next, we are going to add wet ingredients. Okay, see, tricky, tricky. So that's where the extra bowl comes in, Lise. So, wet ingredients. We're gonna add the oil. It says vegetable oil. I have some vegetable oil. We're gonna use it. So, I have 1 cup of vegetable oil. Okay. And then 1 cup of orange juice. These are gonna taste so good. Okay. Let me get that lid back on. And then we add the vanilla extract, and it's 4 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Okay. And then we take our whisk, dun, 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 and we just kind of do that, mix it all up, okay? And then we're going to add it, then we're going to add the sugar into the wet ingredients while we're whisking. There we go. And get it all nice and mixed up. And the orange flavor is just astounding, okay? We also need to add in 4 large eggs. And so, I don't have any large eggs, but I do have some small ones. So I put in, well, let's see, I'm not gonna mess with that one. Let's see, 3. I'm going to use 2, 4, 5. 5 of the smaller eggs, because those should come pretty close to the same measurement. Okay. And we're gonna crack. And I know. If you crack an egg into a separate bowl, then you make sure that, you know, blah, 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 whatever. I'm very comfortable with doing this. I have had no issues. Now I'll jinx myself, I'm sure, but you never know, you know. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Now we're gonna get these out of here. And we're gonna whisk up those eggs in with the sugar and the zest and the orange juice and the oil, okay? Now, it would be tempting, I am certain, to use a mixer, but don't, because it just doesn't work out that well if you use a mixer. You really wanna do it the way that they tell us to. I hate following rules. Okay, next, I'm going to get a spatula because I hate digging this stuff out of the whisk. Okay, now we are going to pour the wet mixture into the dry ingredients. We're going to stir gently until it's combined, okay? No streaks of flour should remain. So you just want to do it slowly. You want to make sure you're getting all the way in there and mixing it up. I'm so happy to have my oven back. Okay, we're going to do this. Not going to leave any of that yummy goodness in there. And we're just going to keep going around until we get all of the dry batter wet, you know? Because that's the goal. Nobody wants to bite into a clump of flour. It sucks the joy out of the moment. So our job is to just fold it all in together. And this comes together very nicely. Okay. There we go. I'm not a good left-handed person. Next few weeks are going to be a riot. Okay. So, oh, I found another dry spot down there. Ow. So, sorry. You want to make sure that you are scraping up that bottom and making sure that you're not finding stuff like that, okay? Because that's what we're trying to avoid. You want to make sure it's all gone. All gone. Yep, snapped my shoulder again. Okay. Making muffins. Okay, so now we're going to zip back over here and look at that. Look at that. Sucked up most of the orange juice. There isn't probably, let's see. Can I do this? We will find out. We are going to just kind of drain off the excess liquid without taking all of the cranberries. I don't think there's a quarter cup of juice left in there. Great, poor Lise. Okay, and next we're gonna fold the refreshed cranberries into the batter. You don't want to beat them to death, okay? You just want to fold them in there so that you're not mashing them. And even with freeze-dried cranberries that are, you know, cut up, you can still have very nice, juicy cranberries because they're refreshed in the orange juice. You're not mashing them to death. And, oh, you guys, look at that. There's gonna be cranberry in every bite. Okay, just kind of gently fold it in there. Make sure you're getting it into everything. Oh, yeah. There's no big spots where there's no cranberries. And then it is time for the muffin tins. Dun-dun-dun. And I line these with these super amazing liners. Yes. I love these big liners, these tulip liners. I am so easy to amuse anymore. Okay. And with this particular package, I'll put a link down below, you get 130 of them. Nice. And they're pretty. Okay. And so, oh, I want to show you. So that's what they look like, okay? And we are going to just place those down in these. And then we start filling them up. Now you're going to fill them up 2/3 to 3/4 of the way. And the easiest way that I find to do this is with a measuring cup. Do I want one that big? Probably not. If I have to make multiple visits, I will. Okay, so we're gonna scoop that. Well, let's see. Let me try to get this spatula so it's a little more working friendly. Okay. And okay, so I'm gonna go around and fill them all with 1 scoop of this first, and then I'll come back and top them off. I want to make sure that they all have kind of equal amounts. Somewhat close. And when I look at the when I fill these, I literally look at the paper more than I look at the cupcake holder. So if you are using a regular muffin tin, I would not make the double size. You know what I mean? Okay. But I think these are gonna be drool worthy. Oh, and I don't think I'm gonna get 12. But we will see. There we go. And of course I had to make a mess out of those papers, but Nope, it won't make 12, but they're gonna make some beautiful big muffins. Let's see, 8, maybe 9, maybe 10, maybe. Okay, let me get you out of there. Maybe 10, most likely. Well, you don't know. No, we'll see. Don't you love that decisiveness that I have? Yeah, okay, so we'll get 10. We're gonna do it like this. Okay. And, whoop. We're gonna scrape this bowl like a pro. Get that last little bit out of there and get it into the muffin. You just knew that was gonna happen, didn't you? Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh, God. Okay, those are gonna be so good. So good, my friends. So we're gonna have 10 big muffins. Yes, I could have measured it differently and gotten 12, but that's me. Okay, so we're gonna put these in the oven for probably 35 minutes. Original muffins are for 25. These are bigger, so I'm gonna shoot for 35, but I'll check them at 30 just to be sure. But I gotta show you this, okay? These are the best silicone muffin pans I've ever had. They have a wire or something in there that keeps it firm, so you don't need a cookie sheet underneath it. You don't need to worry about, look at that one-handed, woohoo. It's fantastic. So we are going to put these in and set our timer for 30 minutes, and we will check on them then. Until then, I'm gonna clean up and get ready to show you the next recipe. This coming Sunday, we're hosting dinner for our friends, Thanksgiving dinner for our friends, our Friendsgiving here. Well, we've done it here. This will be the second year because it's fun, okay? Because I like to cook, and it allows me to cook a lot, a whole bunch. Okay, so I've got my thing again, and I'm gonna do 3 cups of the dried cranberries. Because actually, I'm going to do just a hot bit more. There it is, all the way on the bottom. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit more because I want to make sure that I have enough. So I need cranberry sauce. So I am making cranberry sauce because, well, it's good, you guys. That's why. So I'm going to start this soaking again in the orange juice. Okay. I'm not canning this. I am making this up for dinner next week. So I'll be making this up, putting it into a dish, and refrigerating it. Okay, so we will come back and check on that in a minute. Oh, it soaks. I tell you what, that soaks up so fast. I'm so impressed. I wish I could measure this for you, but I'm not. I eyeball it. I'm eyeballing it, so we're going to let it do its thing. There we go. We're going to set it to the side. To the side is a beautiful place to be. Now, we're going to do 3/4 of a cup and a 1/4 cup. Okay, so we need a 1/4 cup of orange juice. So that's 2/8 of a cup. Okay, so that's the 1/4 cup of orange juice in there. And I still have orange juice left over. We need the 2 tablespoons of orange zest. So I'm going back again. So I'm pulling out my handy dandy again. Okay, plugging it in. How much did it say? 2 tablespoons. We're going to do that. And then if I have anything left over from the 2 tablespoons, I'll just put it back into that jar. It is actually easier to powder it when there's more in there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. And that's what it looks like. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons of that. And we're going to put that right in the pot, in the orange juice. Okay, and so anything that I ground up, just going back in there. And that will go back in the pantry where it belongs. Okay, and next it's a 1/2 cup-ish of sugar. It says to taste. I'm thinking a 1/2 cup will be plenty sweet. Okay, there we go. And I need another whisk. I always get questions on these whisks. It's a balloon whisk from Pampered Chef from like a gazillion years ago. They don't make it anymore. Oh, I need 3/4 of a cup of water. Okay. 3/4 of a cup of water. Okay, and now we're going to heat this up, mix it up and heat it up. And I know this burner's too big for this pot. Who cares? Okay, it's not going to live on there. It's just what's available right now. Okay, so we're going to bring this up. We're going to bring this up over like a medium heat, stirring it until the sugar has dissolved, okay? Which really shouldn't take that long at all. And then we're going to stir in the cranberries, okay? And honestly, if there's a little bit of extra liquid, because in the cranberries because of refreshing it with the orange juice, that's kind of a no harm, no foul, but check this out, okay? Again, I might be lucky to see a 1/4 cup of juice left that hasn't been soaked up in the cranberries. I love cranberry orange. Do you love cranberry? I love cranberry orange. It's so good. Okay, so we're going to get you sitting right there. And I'm going to get another spatula because you can never dirty enough dishes when you are creating masterpieces, okay? That's my story. Okay, are you? Yep, see, that's all dissolved, even though you can still see the dried orange peel because I used that instead of zest, because zest would have required me going to the store. Guess who's not doing that, okay? There we go. So I'm going to turn that heat up so that we can bring everything to a boil, and I'm going to add the refreshed cranberries. There we go. Get out of there. I don't want to waste any goodness. None, I tell you. Now, my favorite part about this, and why I have so many freeze-dried cranberries, not only what I have purchased formerly from Thrive, this month from Thrivalist, you know, also known as Ready Harvest, and then those that I pulled out of my freezer and freeze-dried myself. Backups to your backups to your backups, my friends. But this means that I literally don't have to go on the hunt for cranberries. I don't have to, you know, deal with it. They're here whenever I want. I can make smaller amounts if we decide that we want some later, because for Friendsgiving, I typically send people home with leftovers. And then for Thanksgiving, I am going to be one-armed. That's all there is to it. But last year, I was also recovering from surgery because I have epic timing. Nobody messes with my summer, you know? So I walked Phil through making all this stuff, and it worked out really good. We don't need all the extras, you know what I mean? But that just reminded me I have to make some deviled eggs and stuff like that too. Okay. It's gonna be a busy week, but that's good. So this is gonna come up to a boil, and it takes about 15 minutes. Once you bring it up to a boil, you're gonna reduce the heat and let it simmer until the sauce has thickened. It takes about 15 minutes for that to happen. I'm not gonna make you sit here and watch me while that's going on, but I do want you to see it coming up to a boil at least. And then while it's doing the thickening part, I will find the dish it's going to go in, and hopefully we'll be able to show you the muffins coming out of the oven. Hopefully. See, multitasking at its finest. Can't keep a good woman down. No, you can't. Boil, boil. Come on. Sometimes you're just kind of like, why does it take so long to boil? And I'm not at a high altitude. Okay, I'm not going to make you sit here. Oh, we're starting to bubble a little bit. We're starting to bubble a little bit. So I'm going to let it come to a good rolling boil. Then I'll turn down the heat. Then we'll let it thicken. I'll be back. See, it's boiling. Okay, now we're going to turn down that heat to a nice low. And because it's an electric stove, it'll take a minute to catch up. And then we're just going to simmer it for approximately 15 minutes until it thickens up. In the meantime, I'm going to move some stuff around because those muffins should be coming out pretty soon. Okay, there we go. That has thickened up very nicely. And I'm going to move it over and put it into one of my Anchor Hawking bowls. This is I want to say a 4-cup. So did I turn that off? No. Okay. And so there we go. Look at that. Okay. That is going to be spectacular. Yes, it is. There we go. That is enough cranberry sauce for everybody. So I'm going to let that sit and cool before I put it in the refrigerator. And the muffins should be out any minute now. That's how quickly this happened. Yeah, I got that done before the muffins came out. Okay, so the buzzer is going to go off literally in like a minute, and I just want to check these because I just feel like I'm going to need another 5 minutes. And the smoke detector is probably going to go off because the steam came out. And, oh yeah, yep, I need another 5 minutes. So, 5 more minutes. 5 minutes have gone by. I have my handy dandy toothpick, and hopefully we don't set off the smoke alarm again, but you know. One of these days I'll get that addressed. This is my favorite part about these muffin tins. Look at that. One hand, and there we go. Okay, we're gonna, oh yep, those are done. Those are done. Okay, how about this one? They're done. Look at those. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, look at those. Okay, so the trick with the big ones is 35 minutes. Okay, we're gonna let those cool off for a minute. So what you do want to do is you want to get them out of the muffin pan so that they can cool off. Look at those. Oh, you guys, these are just gorgeous. I might be going into the muffin business. Call me the muffin woman, the muffin woman. Okay, don't. I know. Stop singing, Lisa. Stop singing. Okay. Oh, I'm so happy. And the best part, cleanup. Yeah, it's a breeze. I will have links in the description box below the video. If you're on a TV, you're going to need to go to a tablet or your phone or a computer, and you can get the recipes for the muffin and for the cranberry sauce. Yes, absolutely fantastic. Real quick, I want to let you know Thrivalist has that trio on special this month for November. I mean, perfect timing. Mashed potatoes, green beans, and cranberries, right? Perfect. And they are number 10 cans. You saw how full they are. They are awesome quality. I am so super stoked with the quality of these products, you guys. And now you have recipes to use them for also for the upcoming holidays or beyond. If you decide to use my link and to purchase, I greatly appreciate it. There are a couple of bonus factors I want to tell you about if you'll hang in with me for just a minute. I am super excited about Thrivalist for a multitude of reasons, none of which I can go into now, but I can tell you that 2026 is going to be an epic year for all of us, okay? But it has the trio. They're in a bundle. They're on special. I will link you straight to it in the description box down below. As always, I appreciate being your connector. You know, world's worst consultant turned world's worst connector. But I'm giving you recipes, and this stuff is going to be so good. Yes, you're going to love it. My house smells amazing right now. You can get 15% off if you just go buy it. If you decide that you want to do a subscribe and save, then you get 25% off the bundle. That's the best deal. Here's the thing. You can cancel it anytime. And just like we used to do with Thrive, you have to go in after the order processes and you have to cancel the subscribe and save. Otherwise it will, empty the cart, because otherwise it will put the same thing in next month and it won't be as great of a discount, okay? It's just one of the things that we have to do, just like if you have a subscribe and save on the Zon, same deal. So I hope that you do it. I hope that you want to embark on Thrivalist with me, because it's just the beginning. You guys, there's so many great things coming down the line. I'm very excited about it. In addition, if you would like to take even more advantage of this epic deal, you can sign up to be a connector. There's no commitment. There's no minimum purchase. There's no monthly fee, okay? And then you can be your own customer. Yes, you can. And you save even more. It's a great way to do it. I will put the regular link if you just want to shop. I will put the link to become a connector, and then you can shop. and take advantage of all of the great deals for being a connector. I hope that you'll join me on this really great adventure of Thrivalist. Until next time, cranberry orange muffins and cranberry orange cranberry sauce. Cranberry orange cranberry sauce? You know what I mean. I hope that you enjoy them, and I hope that you enjoy the recipes. Until next time, everybody, be safe. Keep stacking it to the rafters, my friends.